But the point about this false notion of success, or the magnification of exceptional cases, is interesting, because I've heard people say how before we had groups of people that we knew of about 150 people, let's say village life and small towns, whatnot. And what would happen is everyone had their own identity to an extent. So similar to how you were saying that you were the biggest guy in the gym, in your circle, let's take the internet out of it, you were the guy in terms of like the big guy, the fit guy, the one that we're going to ask about fitness and diet and stuff, right? You would have had that identity that kind of makes people feel good about themselves. They feel respected and they feel as if they've got a role to play within that community. Now, within a small group of like 150 people, and anyone who's been to a third world country or has got family in a third world country, maybe 10 or 20 years ago, they would have seen this. Now everything's been corrupted to an extent because of internet and whatnot. But you could have experienced this about 10, 15 years ago in, say, Pakistan or a different country like this, where it's a close-knit community and everyone's got their role. So you had the good Qur'an reciter, you had the Islamic kid, you had the good looking kid, right? You had the one who's the best at cricket. And then you've got the professionals, and at all kind of levels, everyone has their place. But now what happens is, I try to say you've got a kid that you're trying to encourage, and or parents are trying to encourage, and he's reciting the Quran or reciting nasheeds or something, right? And you're like, mashallah, he's really good and you should get more into this and you're really smart or something like this. All he has to do now, so he develops the semblance of this identity. All he has to do now, and he probably won't even have to do it because he'll get sent it, is go online and he'll see these 6 7 year olds like phenoms, right, that
Yeah.
are like imitating the best qaris in the world. So essentially, and that's with any topic. Take any sport, if he's into boxing, anything else, he's going to immediately see the exceptional cases. And they're too young to understand this whole kind of long talk about 150 people and how it's not realistic, unless the parents or someone tries to help them understand. Even then, it might not have an impact. So that's definitely something to think about, because you have to understand. I think a way around it is to see if you can benefit people within your surrounding, right? Limit to the grassroots. Because even with something like this project on a more personal level, right? Before I started it, I used to find these exceptional cases. So this was about 3 years ago. And I used to think, why am I going to do this? As in, this whole project, like, there's people who are better than me in every domain, right? In every domain that I'm in, there's going to be someone who's better. And then there's exceptional cases that they're Muslim as well, and they're probably better than you in every domain. So then I'm thinking, I'm not the right guy to do this project, right? Because for those reasons. But then you have to also think, what what benefit is there? Can you give a benefit that these other people aren't giving, because they might not have the same interest in propagating or presenting or things like this. So what I'm trying to say is, I think it's a difficult one, even if you're trying to rectify your intention, that everyone can be susceptible to and go through.